Hi everyone, this is John from the future. This podcast was supposed to have a video accompanying it, but my camera turned off halfway through. And then when I tried to transfer the file, it somehow got corrupted. So there is no video. It's all messed up and out of sync, and it's got some weird glitches in it. So it's just audio today. Sorry about that. We'll try to do better next time.
That scene where they meet over lunch was so depressing. It was like, oh yeah, we're orphans too. Yeah, they hate us. Yeah, they call us names. Oh yeah, it's a terrible place to live.
Oh, it's a terrible place to live.
So the timer has gone off.
Welcome to our podcast. It's a terrible place to live.
Welcome to the podcast.
Do you support that?
If you like it, I like it.
I think it's
good.
Yeah.
That's it. All right. Thank you for listening to this podcast. It's a terrible place to live with David Damari and John Bauer. We shall continue. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our podcast. Without a name, we were hoping to name it this episode. So we may go into the details of that dynamic later, but for now, we are just going to start. And we're going to start with your Christmas present.
Oh, no. This is a bad way to start. I didn't get you.
Oh, no, I didn't expect you to get me anything.
Very poor.
I was going to
Sorry.
put these on so I can hear what I'm saying.
Okay. Probably should have done that away from the microphone. Slide.
Just do it like ASMR.
Oh, wait, hang on. Oh. A Toblerone. Thank you. Also, I'm a little confused why you gave me...
Well, you're supposed to... Did you read it?
Congratulations on the birth of your new arrival.
Yes.
Thank you. How did you know about that?
I just know these things. I know. Merry Christmas. The birth of your new arrival, Jesus.
Oh, I thought you meant the birth of my new arrival, Firefly. Thank you very much. Oh, wait, I didn't start the timer.
Okay, well, it's fine. We can do it now.
Well, okay, so yeah, the timer is for naming the podcast. Whatever sentence we've said at the end of 45 minutes will be the name of the podcast.
And then I guess I'll try and make like a graphic art piece to go with
Based
that
on-
sentence to
Hopefully
be
it's an
the
interesting
thumbnail.
sentence. It's not like,
If
I
it's-
ate McDonald's for
Well,
lunch
if
or
it's
something.
really
I didn't eat
stupid,
McDonald's.
if it's really stupid, we'll have to break the rule and like go back a sentence or
Well, no.
something.
If it's stupid, if it's boring, we'll have
Right.
to break the rule. If it's stupid, that's like perfect. You know? We want like a stupid name. Something that's interesting.
Yeah.
So, how was your Christmas?
It was fine. My family's not celebrating until Saturday because we're all over the place. We're weird.
Okay. You're like, we postponed it.
Yeah.
We're like, this year it'll be on New Year's.
Basically, yeah. What about you? How was your Christmas?
It was good. So, my brother got engaged, so his fiance came down. That was nice.
Oh yeah, I saw that. So that's cool.
Yeah, we had a good time. We went over to my grandparents' house, their new house. It was pretty fun. I got a record, since I have a record player now,
Yeah.
and I put that on my list. But so my mom didn't know what kind of record to get me, so I'd put one specific one, but for some reason she wasn't able to find it. I don't know. Anyway, this sounds really mean. It's like, oh, they couldn't give me a good gift. But like,
No, I hear what you're saying.
so she ended up getting me the Piano Guys a Christmas album, which is Christmas albums for Christmas are just objectively
I
a
was just
bad
about to say
gift.
any Christmas themed item for Christmas is just a bad gift.
Because I can't use it for a year. And
It's
you can
like,
only use
great,
it part
I
of
have
the year.
13 hours to listen to this before it goes into storage.
But no, I went record shopping again today because I finally got money. I don't have money anymore. I've got $1.
What did you buy?
So I got Innocent Man by Billy Joel. I got Begin to Hope by Regina Spektor, and I got Melodrama by Lorde.
Oh, I love that album.
Yeah, it's
Such a
very, very
album.
good. And the art's on it is really, really pretty. So that's part of why I bought that one specifically, as opposed
Right.
to like Pure Heroine or something.
Where it's just white text on a black background, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so before we started, I said that we needed to talk about one thing. Have you seen Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse?
I have not. I
Oh.
keep wanting to go see it, but I haven't had a chance. But I'm okay with spoilers, so.
Well, now I don't want to spoil it for you. Now we need to go see it.
Okay, well, we can do that.
Okay, but I feel like I'm not going to say anything original on it. Just that it's really, really good and pretty, and the sound design is so good. Like, it gives you chills. Like the way it works, it's a perfect movie in my opinion. Okay. Yeah, I don't know whether or not I like it better than Spider-Man: Homecoming as a Spider-Man movie. That was my favorite Spider-Man previously.
Sure.
Just because the dynamic between like Peter and Vulture was so good, like that scene in the car.
Yeah, the scene in the car is beautiful. That's
It's probably
a
the
great
best
scene.
scene in like the MCU, in my opinion.
Oh, definitely. The
Yeah.
MCU is void of good real film tension, and that is
Yeah.
a great scene.
So I don't know that this movie can compare to that scene specifically, but I think it's very, very good. And the way that it makes all of the different Spider-Man characters work together is really good. And also, like, even if you're not familiar, like, with comics and everything, they're selling people on a new Spider-Man where you don't have to know who Miles Morales
Right,
is
yeah.
before it. And, like, my younger siblings, they were sold on it, even though they'd never even heard of this guy.
Yeah.
They're like,
yeah.
I know Peter Parker's Spider-Man, but now there's a new Spider-Man, and they love that Spider-Man just as much, and it's great.
Yeah, I know. My sister was telling me she saw it, and she was telling me that it's one of the best superhero movies she's seen because it goes back to it's a comic book movie that looks like a comic book.
Yeah, like
which
Scott
is like
Pilgrim.
really good.
Yeah.
and it makes it feels right because of that. Whereas a lot of the live action stuff kind of tries to make it real instead of like letting it be itself.
Well, yeah, and I feel like there is a place for that, like the Dark Knight trilogy.
Yeah,
is
sure,
very
no, I
like
agree.
grounded and real. But then it's fun to just have a movie that is very aware of what it is and just like leans into it, you know? Like, and that's the comedy of it, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Although not like, it's not just like the comedy, but it's a whole feel and it's very
Right.
immersive
It's the entire like
experience.
experience of it. That makes sense. Which that actually kind of piggybacks into something I was going to talk to you about,
Okay.
which is Titans. We talked a little bit about Titans.
I still haven't seen it.
I know you haven't. I know you haven't. Which is why I need you to log into my DC Universe account
Okay.
and go watch Titans.
So you like it?
I freaking love it. It is the best comic book live action anything I have seen ever.
Wow. Okay. Hang on. Wait. So I'm trying to think what my favorite live action comic book thing that I'd have seen would be to compare it to. It's better than Daredevil season 1. Wait. I'm not saying that's the best one,
But yes. It's better than Daredevil season 1. It's different. Well, okay, so here's the deal. Daredevil season 1 is very realistic.
Uh-huh.
It's very grounded,
yeah.
and it's gritty and whatnot. And then you have the MCU, which is very realistic but not gritty at all. And
Yeah,
then
very
you have
polished.
then you have like the CW shows that are not gritty and they're super campy and they like embrace the like the jokey comedy roots of comics.
Uh-huh.
This show is perfect because it's gritty, it's real,
Uh-huh.
but it also feels like a comic book, and it accepts without question what like the comic writers had made.
Uh-huh.
So like if there's something ridiculous,
Uh-huh.
if it was in the CW universe, they'd drag out that ridiculousness to make it funny. If it was in the Netflix Marvel universe, they would completely nerf it, cut it out, no ridiculousness. In Titans, they just present it as it was in the comic. So if it was presented and they just kind of ran with it, whatever, they just run with it, which is really, it makes me so happy.
Well, okay. I feel like what you're saying about, well, this is like a tangent that's
Right.
brought up by that. But the whole thing with CW is I feel like they're not self-aware enough to figure out tone on anything. So like they'll try and like hit you with emotions, but then they're like, but we're cheesy and it doesn't even work. You know?
I guess. Have you seen, do you watch Legends of Tomorrow?
No.
Okay, because like the first season was so just awful. It was a total nightmare. It's still my favorite season, but it was a total nightmare. The second season was a total nightmare in the opposite direction. They went too dark and then they went too campy. And the current season, it is comedy gold. I love it. It's a beautiful show. It has heart. It makes me cry, and it's super great. That's a great show. However, it's like campy on purpose.
Well, yeah, and there are certain things that are campy on purpose and that pull it off, like Edgar Wright movies, like
Right? Yes, exactly.
But I don't think. I feel like CW is just too confused to like be able to pull it off. You know, they've got like. I'm speaking specifically about The Flash because that's the one I'm most familiar with,
yeah.
and there's no sense of tone in that entire show. You know.
Yeah. The Flash it's a love-hate relationship for me.
I think I've quit. I think I'm like, I don't need to do this. I'm spending too much time.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I've moved on to new things, and I watched American Vandal seasons 1 and 2.
Oh, did you like it?
I loved it. It's so good.
Here's a question for you, because I loved American Vandal season 1,
Yeah, it's so good.
and I hated American Vandal season 2.
Did you watch the whole thing?
Yes.
All right, so I didn't like the first episode. I was like, oh no, they've lost it. Because, like, they were hardly in it. Like, Peter and Sam, they were just, like, doing a little bit of narration, but mostly it was just interviews. But I think, like, throughout the other seasons, I mean, like, not the other seasons, the other episodes, that they were able to make it work. It feels very different from season 1, but I think it's good.
Well, for me, it was basically just a remake of season 1 with different cast and a different main issue, but it was basically the same to me. Like, it felt like they kind of lost they didn't have any creative vision for moving the series forward. They were just kind of like, let's do it again. Now they're making another documentary somewhere else.
What, are you saying there's a season 3?
No, season 2.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying, and now there's another one.
No.
I hope there's another one. I really want more.
I wouldn't be mad at a third season, but they'd have to do something. They can't just like another school with another issue. That just.
I don't think they will, since like the first two, the first one they were in junior year, the second one it's their senior project. So I think once they're done with high school, they're gonna. I don't know. Maybe it'll be a college. Who knows?
It would probably be a college thing. Well, the thing is, like, is it Jimmy Tatro who plays the main character of the first season?
Oh, I don't know.
I think it's Jimmy Tatro. He was a YouTuber. Did you ever watch Real Bros of Simi Valley?
No.
It was a YouTube series that he made. That's like it's a fake. It's like in the style of The Office, where it's like supposedly like a reality show, kind of. But
Well,
it's like,
Wait, it's a reality show or documentary? Because The Office is documentary.
well, it's like, it's in the style where like they're talking to the camera
Oh,
to
it's
a person
like,
who's filming, but who isn't really recognized very often.
so it's
And
like a kind of show where there's no fourth wall.
right, but it's not exactly like that, because it's not like Parks and Rec where they just randomly talk to nobody.
Yeah.
It's more like The Office where there's someone there filming them.
Well, my understanding of Parks and Rec was that it's the same kind of thing as The Office, where there's someone filming them.
They never recognize them. They talk to them. They have them in like their separate areas, talking to them like The Office, but they never recognize that there's like a cameraman.
Huh. Well, my understanding was that, like, since it's the same people who made The Office, they were doing the same thing, just a different
That would make
group
sense.
of people.
That makes
Yeah.
sense. But like, basically, it's supposed to be more like reality TV, but like
Okay.
just a show about these guys living in Simi Valley, which is in California, and it's like all the rich people,
Okay.
and they're like surfer bum dudes, basically. But yeah, because of him,
Uh-huh.
from like that, I was super excited, and then at the end of the first, he's the reason I watched it in the 1st
Uh-huh.
place. And the end of the first season, I was kind of expecting it to I was expecting it to follow him more
Mm-hmm.
and like leave the documentary format for
Huh.
a second season, which I was a little bit sad about. And then when I saw that it wasn't doing that, I was like, oh, that's great. They're going to keep doing the documentary style, which is really cool. It's kind of the point of the show. And then it was like, it felt really awkward to me to like, now we're at this other school that has some issue.
I think it made sense because the show's called American Vandal, so it's like documentaries getting to the bottom of vandalism. Although the second crime isn't as much vandalism; it's just like
it's also that the premise of the second season really bothers me because it's like, it's just an extended poop joke. The whole season
the
is an
first one-
extended poop joke.
the first one was
an extended dick joke. I know, but like, I guess I don't really have a platform for disliking it, but still,
You're like, I'm above that sense of humor.
I basically, yeah.
Oh, did you ever watch the Kaminsky Method?
No, I was going to watch it, but I haven't watched it.
Okay. They announced that there's season 2, so I'm very happy about that.
Okay.
Let's see, what else? What else have I been watching recently?
I don't know. I've been focusing on Titans entirely because it's so good. Oh, they're making Doom Patrol as well.
I heard about that.
And if it's anything like Titans, I am so excited.
Oh, it's another DC exclusive?
Yes. Yeah. But in outside of the US, they will be on Netflix as Netflix originals.
Oh, so if you have like a VPN.
Which I do, yeah.
Yeah.
But I already have DC Universe, so
Yeah.
But in January they'll be on Netflix. Well, Titans will be. So.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I'm gonna give you my login so you can watch it because I need someone to talk about it because no one is watching it but me. So.
Okay. We'll do that after.
Yeah. My login info for DC Universe. No.
Did I ever
I don't remember what these notes mean.
Did I ever talk to you about Alex and Ada, the comic book series?
You mentioned it, but I don't think you ever like told me about it.
Okay, so that's probably my favorite comic book series, I'd say. Like, it's definitely up there. It's either like that, Morning Glories, or Red Hood and the Outlaws.
Okay.
Or maybe Batman Jack Murdoch. I really, really like that one.
Actually, that's what I was trying to get you. Is I didn't know if you had a physical copy
No, I
of it or
don't.
not, and I was looking for it and I couldn't find it, so I just bought you Firefly instead.
It's okay. I'm very happy with this. Wait, it's published by Boom? I thought Image
is-
published them.
This is not the new series. This is
Oh.
the ones that go between the show and Serenity the movie.
Okay.
So,
Which I still
did you
need to
watch?
watch.
Okay, it's on Netflix now.
Oh, well, they took it off and then it was back and then it was gone.
Ooh, well,
They did a whole thing.
It might have been on while it was on my VPN because I was checking for Titans from Canada, and it may have been when I was on that when I saw it.
I need to get a VPN because there was one show, I forget what it was now, that I was trying to watch. And they're like, yeah, it's on Netflix in England. I'm like, oh,
What show?
I don't know. Although I did want to watch Final Space. This wasn't it, but Final Space is on Netflix.
What
in
is
the
Final
UK.
Space?
It's Olin Rogers' show, the animated one that he made.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
the one that he did with TBS and Conan. Now we're talking about something different.
Yay. This is a very sporadic podcast. So far, we've just kind of piggybacked off of each other without being
told
like
any stories.
we haven't told any stories, and not only that, was like we're talking about one show and then all of a sudden, oh, have you seen this show? So we've kind of
Well, this is how we talk.
It is. And we jumped genres 3 or 4 times now,
Yeah.
which is great. So continue. What were you about to say?
Oh, so I was going to tell you about the open mic night that I invited you to come to.
Oh, yeah,
But
yeah.
you didn't end up coming to. Well, I did very poorly.
Well, I was making Russian food.
You're making what?
I was making a Russian food.
Oh, I thought you said ration food. I was like,
No.
preparing for the bombs.
I was
from the
making
shelter.
Russian food with Andrew Parker and my brother.
Okay.
So continue.
Was it good?
Oh, it was okay. I wasn't a huge fan. They liked it.
All right.
It was bland. Continue.
Yeah.
Like my stories.
So anyway, I went and I made it on the list that time. Last time I hadn't made it on the list. It was a whole thing. Anyway, and it was a long list because it was the week before Christmas, so there were a lot of people that wanted to do it. But then
Right.
they're like, okay, well, make the list longer so that people can do it this time since we're not going to be here next week. It's a whole thing. So to make it so that everyone could fit the list.
Okay, so the camera just cut out. It's definitely low battery, so we're just going to leave it and the audio will continue.
Okay. So that everyone would make the list, they gave people varying amounts of time. So they normally do 5-minute sets, which is what I'd prepared for. But instead of giving me a 5-minute set, I ended up with a 3-minute set.
Oh, joy.
Yeah, so I had to like condense all my jokes, which wasn't. I didn't prepare very well to condense them because I didn't have enough like time to like
Right.
go through how I wanted to tell them
Right, yeah.
instead. So I ended up being very nervous because I knew I hadn't prepared for this particular situation. So I was like stumbling over my words and everything, and I've got a whole long extended joke about necrophilia.
Ah, yes.
So
It's a great joke.
So then I'm going through it, and it's supposed to go, necrophilia is legal in Louisiana, as it should be. But then I'm like, necrophilia is legal in Louisiana, which is cool, I guess, which sounds very different. Because I'm not very confident on it. I'm like, I guess I like that. I don't know. So then there's this girl in the audience who did a double take, and it was the greatest thing. I say that, and she goes, huh? Wait, what? I almost lost it. Just that reaction. I kind of want to just get that reaction. I don't want people to laugh. I just want to go up there, and then they go,
Wait,
what?
That's great. Oh, no.
So I told all the jokes about like wondering whether or not Pinocchio has a penis, and then like going on into like talking about necrophilia and like supporting it in the joke. And then no one was laughing the whole time. And I was like, actually, people laughed at Gepedophile.
Okay.
They thought that was funny, which it is, but
the whole thing is funny because
Yeah.
I've heard it and it's hilarious. So,
well, I was just off.
no, that makes sense. When you're nervous, you stumble around. It doesn't. If you don't deliver things right, sometimes it doesn't work out, which is just normal.
So then I told all those jokes that are very crude. They're not like. I'm very cheap. I'm not good at writing comedy. I just like making people laugh, so I rely very heavily on being crude in stand-up, I think.
I think a lot of people do, but that's fine.
Yeah, so,
Most of the comedians I follow are fairly crude.
yeah, I want to have, like, merit, like, aside from just, like, haha, that's funny because he said that.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So then I told all those, like, jokes, and then afterwards, people have a very, like, weird, they treat me very strangely over there because I'm the youngest comedian who performs there.
Okay.
So there's this lady who came up to me afterwards, and she said, I thought your jokes were really cute.
I thought your jokes about necrophilia were really cute.
I ended with a joke where I said, if you come upon a dead body, then you can come upon a dead body.
That's one of my favorites.
And then she's like, that was real cute, you know?
I guess it's just, you're real cute, so your jokes are real cute.
I guess. I don't know. I didn't like it. I said thank you, but I didn't like it. That's what she said.
Yeah. Well, you'll have to do it again sometime when you have the time you're expecting, so that
Yeah.
maybe not the same set, but
Well, no, I'm gonna do the same set. I want to like workshop it and make sure that I get like
for sure.
because I really like those jokes. Oh yeah, there was a whole another thing that happened. So then after that, I was talking with some of the other comedians that were there, and I think they thought I did all right. Like, they didn't think that I performed well that particular night, but they thought the jokes were funny. So that was good. I'm very happy when I get approval from comedians who I think are good, you know?
Right, yeah.
But there was one guy who I walked up to him. He was talking with another guy who I had been talking to earlier. And then the first thing he says to me is, "Are you gay?" I'm like, "Oh, man. Oh, this is going to be one of those." So I was like, "No, I don't think so." And he says, "You sure?" I'm like, "Yeah." So then, like, the entire time, I was like, "Okay, good. Now I can make fun of you." So then he just made gay jokes the whole time. And I was like, all right.
Who, you made gay jokes? Or
No, he did.
He did, okay.
Yeah.
That's really weird, but
Yeah.
what kind of gay jokes? Just like making fun of you for being gay?
No, like-
Or like,
No,
that's
like-
gay type of jokes?
Like the way I dress and things. He's like, oh.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. Yeah. Was he like doing a set?
No. This
Just-
was just like talking
Oh, okay.
afterwards.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's weird.
I don't know. It was strange. That particular guy, I think he's done some funny things, but a lot of the time, all of the time, he's constantly like really, really, really high. So a lot of the time, he'll just go up there and like, I don't even know. He'll just stammer on about nothing for 5 minutes. I don't have a lot of respect for him. Like, I think he's funny, but I don't think he's talented at all.
That's an interesting oxymoron, but it works, I guess.
What do you mean?
He's funny, but he's not talented, which is...
Well, no, it's funny in that kind of way where you're laughing at them, not with them.
Okay, gotcha. That makes more sense. Poor guy.
I don't know. I don't feel sorry for him.
There's no sympathy in that sentence.
What?
Poor guy.
Oh, I see.
It wasn't sarcastic. It was
I thought
just-
you were saying I had no sympathy.
No,
Which
no.
is true, because I said I don't feel sorry for him.
Moving on.
This is a weird tension.
We already kind of talked about most of the things that I put on my list,
Wow. We're efficient.
or at least the top things. So I had put that about the CW universe, that it's starting to get on my nerves. We kind of already talked about how trashy it is.
Yeah. I'm fed up with it, and I want it to end.
I also put that I like The Flash, but I hate the fandom. And I don't know if
I
you
hate both
ever-
at this point.
At this point, yeah, The Flash is getting worse. But, well, it's been getting worse since season 1. But, season 3 was the pinnacle of bad. But did you ever get involved with the fandom at all, like online?
No. I don't really involve with, like, fan groups online, just generally. I'll just
Right.
like something, and then I'll just like it privately, you know? I'll talk
Right.
with friends about it, but I won't, like, seek out other people who like it just because they like it.
Yeah, like I only have a couple friends that like the same stuff I do, so I
Yeah.
usually end up going online. But the fandom is so toxic for all of these things,
Uh-huh.
and they're also super dumb. They're just filled with idiots.
So like Rick and Morty.
Yes, exactly like Rick and Morty.
Except Rick and Morty, I think, is a better show.
Then Flash?
Yeah.
Oh, hands down.
Yeah.
That's a show that, as a show,
It knows what it is.
Way better written.
Yeah.
Just in general.
It's a very
But
different kind of show.
Yeah, it's extremely different genre, but like, it understands where it's supposed to be and it stays there.
Yeah.
I don't know. The thing is with like comic fandoms and specifically with the Flash, because like the Flash fandoms I follow aren't just for the TV show; they're for the character.
Yeah.
People on those fandoms are just so rude. You say something about how you like one specific thing better than another, like you like this actor better than this one, or you liked this episode better than this one, or you liked this specific comic author and illustrator duo better than another.
Yeah.
And they get offended like it's a life or death situation that you like the same one as them. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Well, see, I don't understand that mentality of saying you need to like the same one I like, because I think it's them just being like, I'm right, you know?
Well,
and
but
they're
it's not even
and you
about
need to
right
be
or
with,
wrong, though. But yeah, I can see that. It's just
because that's the only thing that makes sense. Because like, I don't understand thinking, well, they need to like what I like, unless it's because this is the right thing to like, you know?
yeah.
Because
It's
like
just-
otherwise, just like what you like, and then don't care what other people like, you know, which is the proper mentality. But
Because it's like people post like, for example, people post like, who's your favorite Flash, Barry Allen or Wally West, and then you just like comment the name of whichever one's your favorite. And so like in specific, I mentioned on a comment section that I really liked Bart Allen from New 52, where he was Bartor, and it was like a from the future, and it was and whatnot. And I said that I really liked that run because I think that's great. I thought it was awesome. Just thousands of comments in response.
thousands?
There were other people saying the same thing, and they got comments too.
Oh, I
just
see.
like it wasn't just me, but
Yeah, I was like, thousands of people specifically care
no,
that you.
I probably had about 30 comments on mine, and there were other people with just the whole comment section because it mentioned him in the post. Was people being like, "Oh, Bartor's stupid," and anyone who likes Bartor doesn't understand real storytelling and story arcs, and it's like, could you just like let me enjoy what I'm enjoying?
But tell the truth, Jay Garrick is the best Flash, specifically in Justice Society of America.
Fuck you.
No.
No, sure.
Have you read Justice Society?
No, not specifically. I read a couple of the I read a couple Justice League, Justice Society books, like Justice League of America and the ones that split off, but I didn't read any of the original Justice Society stuff.
They're pretty good. I like them. That was
I kind of moved on from the Flash, honestly. Like, he was my favorite, and I've gotten so tired of him. And it's the state of comic books that companies reuse their main characters so much that you start to hate them. And so DC has used Superman, Batman, and Flash so often that I cannot stand them anymore.
Yeah. That's part of why I like Valiant so much, because it's the same, like, comic book, superhero genre, but I think it does it better, like Valiant, you know?
Right, yeah.
Because I didn't know if I'd said what I was talking about.
You did, yeah. It's cool.
Because there's no, like, pressure of dealing with characters that people are attached to, because they're much less known, you know?
Yeah, well, it's the same when DC was starting out and they were creating characters, as they had much more freedom because nobody's, like, feels like they know what's best for the character.
Yeah, so That's why I enjoy like really reading Valiant comics, because they're at that point that Marvel and DC have long passed, you know, where they're building their universe and they're working with these new ideas and these new characters and building their identity, you know. It's really interesting to see how that happens, because they're becoming a bigger company. They're getting to that point,
Right,
but
yeah.
they're not there yet, you know.
Yeah. Well, and that's kind of, I like the Young Animal series that DC did.
Yeah.
Because they introduced a bunch of new characters and rebooted a couple of old groups. Doom Patrol was one of them, and then Mother Panic, which I showed you some Mother Panic stuff.
Yeah.
You weren't super into it.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's all like R-rated teen drama stuff, which is a
Yeah.
little bit weird. But also, the writing of comic books is much less cheesy than the writing of comic book based film.
Yeah.
So much so. And especially with like the Young Animal stuff, it's very serious and real and not like at all like cheesy, or not necessarily cheesy. It's not that's not what I'm trying to say. I don't even know. It's like
I think people
it's much better storytelling.
I think people associate cheesiness with comic books because it's associated with art. I don't know why that is, but for some reason people associate it, well, if it's bright and colorful, then it's cheesy. And not all comics are bright and colorful, but it has that reputation, you know?
Yeah. Well, and there's some comics that can be cheesy, but even the way they're written, it's not presented as cheesy.
Yeah.
And they're written so well, like from just all aspects. Like the characters have great character arcs. They're established well. So like Teen Titans New 52, which I already mentioned. That is my favorite run of Teen Titans. And it's very campy.
Yeah.
But it doesn't come across as very campy because it's very well written to the point the characters all have their character arcs. It feels very real. They interact with each other like real people. It's not cheesy in the way that like makes it feel awkward.
Yeah. Yeah. What was I going to say? I had something I was going to say. Oh, well, it's gone now. Well, that's not good. Apparently, I'm not good at podcasts. I'm just going to say, crap, I don't know what I'm talking about.
I've kind of lost track of what we were discussing.
We got 8 minutes till the title.
Well, let's not think about it too much because then we'll be thinking of the title.
Shh. Oh, I meant to talk to you about music.
Oh?
Have you been listening to anything interesting recently?
I went back and started listening to The Greatest Showman again. It's not super interesting.
Crap.
What?
Well, so now I remembered what I was going to say, but now we've switched to a new topic.
Say it anyway.
Do you like Umbrella Academy?
I don't know what that is.
Umbrella Academy?
Yeah.
It's a DC series written about a boarding school. Wait, no, it's not Gotham Academy.
Gotham Academy?
No, they're different. Umbrella Academy is written by Gerard Way, the former...
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah,
I know
yeah,
who
yeah.
that is.
So they're making a Netflix original series based off of his comic book series.
Oh, I should go back and read it.
And he's very closely involved with the series, and it's about to come out. And I'm very... I don't know. I haven't read it, but it looks interesting. Like, very bright and colorful aesthetic. And, like...
Yeah.
And I think he's a very good writer, just objectively. Like, all the stuff that he did with My Chemical Romance, that's songwriting, but it's good writing, you know?
Right.
So I'm definitely going to watch it. I don't know how good it'll be.
Is it an animated series?
No, it's live action.
Oh, okay, cool.
I'm really bad at staying on topic. I
That's
thought of
okay.
something else. There's another Netflix original. Season 3 of A Series of Unfortunate Events will be here in a few days.
Yes.
And also, Max Greenfield's going to be in it from New Girl.
Oh, really?
Schmidt. Yeah.
That's cool.
I'm very excited. And it's the final season. They're going to tie everything up with a little bow.
That's my plan for my first tattoo. Is
the eye?
is the eye on my
Yeah.
ankle for the volunteer fire department.
and I wanted to look like it's stained glass, like a window with their logo in it, and then I wanted to say, "It's quiet here."
Oh, nice.
So I haven't designed it yet. I need to figure out what I want it to look like, and then find a tattoo artist that can do it. But that's my plan.
That's exciting. Oh, man, I can't wait for it. Like,
It's
it's
a great
January
show.
1st. And, like, I expected it to change in quality from the first season somewhat, but the second season was just as good.
Yeah, I know. I expected the same thing because Stranger Things.
Yeah.
The season 2 was good. It just wasn't the same great.
Yeah.
But then ASOUE stayed good.
Uh-huh.
Freaking love that show.
Oh, man. I think it's entirely due to Neil Patrick Harris. Because, like,
That's true.
he can carry anything.
Well, you
he
know,
carried How I Met Your Mother
he's
however
writing
many
it.
seasons. Yeah.
I think he's writing it. Isn't he writing it?
I know he's involved with production.
Yeah, he's producer.
I don't
on the
know if
show.
he's writer. Maybe.
He's the entire reason it's happening, and
Uh-huh.
he's the entire reason it's so good.
I've never seen the movie with Jim Carrey.
I haven't either.
Okay, well, I was
But
gonna.
the reason for that is my older sister
Uh-huh.
loves the books,
Yeah.
and she liked the movie. And when the show came out, she convinced me to watch the show.
Uh-huh.
And then after she watched the show, she was like, "Don't bother watching the movie."
So
I was
she
like,
thinks Neil Patrick Harris is a better Count Olaf than Jim Carrey.
She had some things to say about where they were better about different things.
Uh-huh.
But she said, since I'm not like a huge fan or anything, that it'd just be confusing to go back and watch the movie. Besides that, apparently the movie covers the first 3 books about accurate, and then changes the ending a little bit.
Okay.
So it doesn't follow the books exactly, and the show is following a lot closer.
How many books are there?
Like 15.
That would make sense based on the number of episodes.
Because there's
per-
2 episodes per book
Yeah.
and 10 episodes per season.
I thought there were 8 the first season.
Were there 8 the first season?
Yeah, I think there have been 18 total.
Okay, well, that would have been 4, and that would have been 9 books.
So yeah, that'd be 9 books. So that would leave.
That'd leave 6 books,
So 6 times 2,
which
that'd
would
be
be
12 episodes.
Episodes.
That's good.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. That'd be adding 2 episodes per season, 8, 10, 12,
Yeah.
which works.
Yeah. I didn't feel like the second season was too long or anything. I enjoyed it.
Oh no, yeah, I went through the second season faster than the first.
I didn't. But that's because I ended up like watching a bunch of other shows. It's not that I didn't like that season. I just got caught up, you know,
Yeah, no,
because I binge watched the first one, so it just.
my favorite episode of A Series of Unfortunate Events is still episode 1 of season 2.
Oh yeah, with Coach Genghis.
Yes. Were you there? You were in when they did.
Yeah,
the
I was in
play.
the scene.
We had friends do a play.
Well, okay.
Well,
I was helping.
You were
direct
helping the younger kids.
this scene at our theater group, where there are a bunch of middle schoolers doing part of what's the name of that episode? The book.
It's the
Something Academy.
Astaire Academy.
Yeah, I was helping direct that particular part of the story of A Series of Unfortunate Events, and I got so upset with these kids because they didn't want to be there. They'd do anything but practice the scene, and it was terrible. I hated it.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I was talking I loved it because it was so bad. But I was talking with Alyssa because I was sitting next to Alyssa, our friend Alyssa, the whole time, and I just kept turning to her and going, "Cake sniffer, cake sniffer," and Coach Genghis, I'm a failure the whole time. And she just kept being like, how much of this do you know? And I would like say lines with people. It was great. That is my favorite episode.
I really would have loved being Count Olaf in that scene, but I really did enjoy being Vice Principal Nero.
Yeah. I love the reason it failed so bad is because they didn't do any of the funny parts.
No, they didn't. They just
did the sad parts. So it was just super depressing.
They were a little okay. I think I was funny in it. Me talking
you were
about
pretty good.
you get to drink your beverages in a little puddle, you know. But
Yeah.
it was,
It was funny because
and it just ended. There was no like real ending to it.
the girls that played the Quagmire triplets,
Yeah,
because we replaced one of the boys with another girl,
yeah. Because we didn't have enough boys.
they were good at their acting.
Right.
Really quite good. But the combination of them with the Baudelaire children actors was so dry, and they forgot all of the punchlines that were actually like funny for those scenes where they meet. That scene where they meet over lunch is was so depressing. It was like, oh yeah, we're orphans too. Yeah, they hate us. Yeah, they call us names. Oh yeah, it's a terrible place to live.
Oh, it's a terrible place to live.
So the timer has gone off.
Welcome to our podcast.
welcome
It's a
to the-
terrible place to live.
Welcome to the podcast.
Do you support that?
If you like it, I like it.
I think it's
It's good.
Yeah.
That's it. All right. Thank you for listening to this podcast. It's a terrible place to live with David Damari and John Bauer. We shall continue.
okay. So where were we before we were?
We were at It's a
interrupted
Terrible
by
Place
the
to Live.
aliens?
We were at It's a Terrible Place to Live.
Okay.
And it just, Alyssa and I were sitting there. Everyone else was dead silent in the crowd, and Alyssa and I were sitting there cracking up at how depressing it was.
I think there's one line where they're talking about how Quigley, their brother, died,
That's yes, that's the one.
and they could get no humor out of how hilarious a name Quigley Quagmire is. And instead, they just made it really sad. They're like,
It was
yeah, our
so-
brother died.
It was so depressing. They were like, our brother Quigley,
He perished in a
he
fire.
perished in a fire.
Oh, so this is on a similar note of laughing at horrible child death.
Wait, there's non-horrible child death?
No, but just like really depressing stuff.
Okay.
I wasn't gonna end it with that initially. It was like a mesh of a sentence. I didn't know where I was going with it.
Yes, a horrible tragedy. Okay, continue.
Anyway, yesterday I was watching The Book Thief for the first time with my family. I'd never seen it before.
I've never seen it.
It was a good movie, but it was really stupid.
Okay.
Specifically, they had these segments that needed to be cut out of the movie. It would have been a good movie, but they had these segments in it that weren't good, where there'd be narration done from the perspective of death, if death were a person, and they were so dumb. I hated it. Like, it was so disjointed. It
Yeah,
didn't
no,
need to
I
be
get
in the
that,
whole
yeah.
thing. Because they'd go into these narration segments that were just in the middle of other scenes, and I'm like, this doesn't need to be here. This would be a good movie if you cut all the death narration. So then there's this one part where, do you want me to spoil the movie?
Yeah, go ahead. Spoiler alert for The Book Thief.
It's
If
been out for
anybody
a while.
cares. I'm sure they don't care, but
Yeah.
continue.
I don't think there are a lot of big people who are like, oh man, can't wait to see The Book Thief.
Continue. I just felt like it was an obligatory thing. So
Obligatory?
obligatory.
Obligatory. Yeah.
Sure.
Anyway, so at the end of the movie, the main character is in the basement of the house that she lives in Germany. And she's writing a book. And her family is upstairs, and there are bombs that are being dropped on her street, and everyone she knows is dying, but she lives.
That's beautiful.
It's really sad, right? It's just objectively sad that this kid is losing everyone she knows.
That's what I
her
meant.
friends.
Yeah, that's sad.
Yeah,
that's what
yeah.
I meant. Yeah, for sure.
But then my sister Annabeth is laughing hysterically. I don't know why, but the death narrators go. Maybe it was the death narrator. It was kind of cheesy with the death narrator.
Okay.
But he's going through talking about all the people she loves, how he killed them all, and like what they were thinking when they died. And Annabeth is just cracking up. She can't stop laughing as there's a kid dying, his mother, her parents.
Okay, but I get that. I laugh at the worst times in movies. Okay, if there is a scene where you are supposed to be sad, I will inevitably bust out laughing. I'm trying to remember. Oh, okay. Have you seen Bad Times at the El Royale?
No, you were telling me it was really good though.
Do you care if I spoil a tiny bit of it?
No, go ahead.
Okay, so that one's fairly new, so I am going to spoil something. So if you don't want it spoiled, skip ahead like 30 seconds.
Okay.
There's this one part where this boy who's been like kind of a mystery, but kind of like he's like a heroin addict basically,
Okay.
is
Me too.
supposed to shoot someone. He needs to shoot someone, and he has a gun. And there's like a big fight or whatever. And she's like, go shoot. You need to shoot or whatever, yelling. She's all tied up. And he's like, no. He's like traumatized. He's like, I can't kill anyone else. And she goes, how many people have you killed? And he goes, 123. And then it cuts to a war segment that flashes back to when he was in the war, killing people. But the line is delivered so ridiculous. He's like, 123, that I bust out laughing and immediately get made look like an asshole because it's like a traumatic, like, flashback, and he's got like PTSD, but like it's delivered so funny. It's,
Well, I don't think there's any good way to say that line.
yeah, they really shouldn't have written it the way. Like,
Well, if
it was
it's not a comedy, is it?
no,
If it were a comedy, that would have been a hilarious line.
no.
123.
And he's like shaking. He's like 123, and it's just bizarre. It's a great movie. I love it. That one line is just so funny.
You said
Unintentionally.
you said he was a heroin addict?
Yeah.
Man, you'd think he'd be really good at shooting people up. Oh, I guess he did. He shot up 123 people.
Yes.
Just not anymore.
Yeah.
He lost his touch.
Yeah.
Vans can only take so much.
The thing is, it's kind of, they set you up to think that he's more devious than he is.
Uh-huh.
So when he says that I can't kill anyone else, you're like, oh gosh, he's been killing people.
Oh, you didn't know that?
Oh, shocking!
I thought it
it's
was
like
just known.
super shocking. Like,
Oh, okay.
it's like giving less. It was like he's naive about what's going on here, and then he says, "I can't kill anyone else," and you're like, "Oh my gosh, is he like killing people for this job he has or whatever?" And then she's like, "How many people have you killed?" He's like, 123, and it's like, wait, what? And then it just flashes to the war, and you're like, so wait, he wasn't, or he was killing people?
Wait, it cuts to the war. So I thought that's where he killed people.
It is, yeah.
Oh, so it's saying
But,
that he
like-
wasn't actually doing shady stuff. He was just killing people in a war.
Right, yeah. But it like sets it up to look like he was doing shady stuff. And he was doing shady stuff, but killing people was not one of them, apparently.
Maybe it was. Maybe he didn't kill all of the people in the war. Or does it cut through 123 death scenes? Because that would be an editing nightmare.
No,
We need to show all of them.
He was the last surviving person of his squadron, basically.
Oh, okay.
So I guess the idea is that
Oh, he's responsible.
he feels
Survivor's
responsible.
guilt,
Yeah. So, like, it doesn't actually show him killing anyone. It shows all of his comrades dying, basically.
Oh.
Comrade's not the right
Did
word.
he-
I hang out with too many people who fake Russian.
Well, hang on. Did he
sympathize.
kill anyone in the war? Or was it just his friends dying?
I think it was just his friends dying.
That's a stupid line. I can't kill people anymore.
But like,
when he's
he
holding
probably,
a gun.
he probably did shoot people too. Like that's the point, because then he's like an expert marksman, basically.
Oh. I probably just need to see the movie.
Yeah, I'm not explaining it very well. I'm picturing the scene like they do a lot of build up because it's that the movie's extremely tense. It's like it's not like an Agatha Christie murder mystery where everything's like suspenseful in the like, oh, who did it, we got to figure out where it is.
Yeah.
It's a lot of tension building, not very much suspense,
Okay.
which it kind of never gets released, honestly. It builds up a lot of tension and then
So wait,
just
I
leaves
thought you liked
with
this
it.
movie.
Oh, I do.
Okay.
I think that it could have been done better,
All right.
but it's a good movie. It's just
There you go.
it's a strangely it's a strange artistic choice. I don't know. Someone looking at you?
No, I think I know someone over there.
Oh.
We're in a library, by the way.
Yeah, it's the only place I have because
We're homeless.
well, no, I have lots of
Homes?
home.
That's a weird way of putting it.
Well, no, I have lots of space. Is what
You
I was gonna
invest
say.
in real estate.
I have lots of space. However, it is filled with junk. So
So you don't have lots of space. You have lots of
No.
stuff.
yes, like there are 2 rooms in my house that have no occupants, but are filled with junk. Not 3
Huh.
rooms. There are 3 rooms in my house that are filled with junk, and
Well, does the third one have an occupant?
no,
Huh.
nope. Yeah, I wish that I could turn one into my studio, but it's been a long process and it's not working out. So
Well, at my house, we just be interrupted by my siblings constantly.
yeah, we'd probably be interrupted by my mother. But the weird thing is she doesn't interrupt me in my regular life, but if I start recording something, she will. That's just how it goes.
Huh. Hey, we should record this in my tree house.
You have a tree house?
Yeah, you've been to my house. You've seen this tree house. Yeah.
I have?
Yeah. It's a giant tree house.
I've only been to your house at night to drop you off.
Yeah.
So I may not have
You've been to my
noticed.
house in the daytime, right?
No, I don't think so. I've never gotten out of my car at your house.
That's true. We don't allow him inside.
I've just never been invited.
Well, that's because we hate him.
It's a hard life.
This is weird. I'm switching in and out of referring directly to you and referring to you to. Wait.
That's how referring.
I said
You're
him,
switching-
meaning you.
Yes.
I'm looking at you saying him. It's
But
very
that's how
odd.
podcasts work, right?
I don't know.
I listen to a lot of podcasts, and I feel like that's normal.
I listen. Okay, let's see. What have I been listening to recently? Let's recommend other podcasts.
That's a good idea.
Don't listen to ours. Just a moment. It's loading.
Well, I can tell you what I've been listening to.
Doo-doo-doo. Okay.
Because I.
Too late. I'm ready.
Okay, go.
I've been listening to Beyond the Pine, the Sugar Pine 7 podcast.
I still need to listen to it. I need to go.
Well, you
on
need to
that,
watch
'cause
their videos first. Do you wait? Are you watching their videos?
Yeah, I've started watching their videos.
Do you like them? Are they amazing?
They're okay.
Okay. I have very strong feelings about Sugar Pine 7. The Rooster Teeth podcast. That's pretty good. You Made It Weird with Pete Holmes is a really good one.
Oh, I haven't listened to that one. I don't know that one.
He interviews like a lot of like really famous celebrities, but also lots of comedians. I started listening to it because Daniel Sloss was on it, and I'm a big Daniel Sloss fan. Oh, Sloss and Humphreys on the Road is probably my favorite podcast, I'd say,
Oh, okay.
because Daniel Sloss is so funny. Like, everything he says is just hysterical. Like, there's a whole thing where him and Kai Humphreys, his co-host and opener on tour, they were talking and they were saying, it's so stupid when people will be like, so if someone says, I've got depression, and they'll be like, oh, well, have you tried exercising? Have you tried that? Of course they've tried it. So what I've decided to do instead is, if anyone tells me anything about their problems, I'm just going to tell them, have you tried eating a banana?
Honestly, though, bananas are perfect.
I've been listening to Slacker podcast with Phil Taggart.
Okay, I don't know who that is, but sounds...
He interviews like music people.
Oh, okay,
like
gotcha.
musicians. I've been getting back into Night Vale. I've been off it for a little while because I got behind.
I've been off it. You make it sound like a drug. I've been getting back into Night Vale.
Yep.
It's a nice, sweet sativa.
Bad Hotel is one that I really want them to do more of. They just started recently, but they've only done like 3 episodes.
Oh, okay.
It's Will Joseph Cook. He's one of my favorite musicians, and one of his bandmates on tour. They just sit and talk. And they're very entertaining.
Yeah.
I think they're high. I don't know. They haven't said.
That's interesting. I'm noticing that most of your podcasts are either comedy related or music related.
Yeah, I guess like Sugar Pine 7, Rooster Teeth, those were like comedy.
Well, and Daniel Sloss is a comedian. So
Yeah.
it's
Pete
comedy.
Holmes. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the other two was a band and or like a singer and
Oh, no, Night Vale, though.
oh
well,
yeah,
Night Vale is comedy.
But I'm just saying, like, the majority,
Yeah,
at
yeah.
least. For most of my stuff, actually, I don't know if you could categorize what I listen to. Because I listen to like, I don't know what to call it, like, company podcasts, where it's like
Weird.
made by a company.
Oh.
Like Gimlet Media makes a bunch of stuff, and I listen to a lot of their stuff, like Reply All.
Uh-huh.
So it's like it's a very cut, and it's a very ordered podcast. It has a specific way that it goes. It has stories, kind of like radio,
That's
a lot
kind-
more like This American Lifestyle.
That's kind of
'Cause-
how Night Vale is. Where they'll have a very specific order of how they do things. Like they'll have the weather in every episode. They'll have a word from their sponsors. They'll have radio stories. You know?
Yeah, but that's like, it's like a fictional
Yeah.
radio show, basically.
Yours
So-
is like talking about.
This is Reply All is like just about how the internet affects everyday life, basically.
Huh.
But it's kind of boring, honestly. But I enjoy it. It's interesting because they are a different generation than each other. The two
Uh-huh.
hosts, PJ Vogt and Alex Goldman,
Uh-huh.
and they're both older generation than myself. So it's an interesting contrast to listen to that, which is.
Did you ever listen to the David Dobrik, Jason Nash podcast?
Oh, Views?
Yeah.
No.
I listened to like an episode. I think they're entertaining in small doses. Like the David Dobrik videos I think are funny, but like it's because it's quick. But like if they're sitting there talking for an hour, it gets to lulls, you know?
Yeah, I can understand that because I do listen to Cody Ko's podcast.
Uh-huh.
Well, he doesn't do it anymore. He had a podcast called Insanely Chill.
Okay.
And he doesn't do it anymore, but it was just him, and then he'd invite guests. And he had Jason Nash on the podcast, and it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Jason Nash drives me crazy.
Uh-huh.
But his podcast wasn't acting.
Uh-huh.
His podcast is just talking with people. So Jason Nash as an actual person, I thought was hilarious.
Uh-huh.
Really funny guy. He also had Todd from David's vlogs and Scotty.
Scotty Sire.
Yeah, Scotty Sire. And Matt King, who is one of my favorite Instagrammers at the moment.
Oh, is that what he does? I was trying to figure out where he is.
It took me a long time because I was like, he's a YouTuber, right? But his YouTube channel has like 3 videos and he never posts.
Yeah.
So I figured out he's an Instagrammer and his Instagram is really good.
Huh.
So he's also a photographer. He has
That's cool.
but his photography is like Instagram photography. It's not
Okay.
real photography. Like, I don't want to classify like real and fake photography. It's all photography, but like it's not.
It's like the filtered look.
It's the filtered look, and it's like experimental, kind of, where it's like, this is a strange angle shoot of a person who I just happened to be with. It's not like I got a model and did a shoot.
Yeah.
And if he did get a model, it'd be like, I got a model and shot her with my iPhone.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's kind of weird, but
Well, that's probably where we should leave this episode because I think we're out of space. What space? Out of time in this study space.
yes, it has been an hour and 6 minutes, and
Now all of them have to be exactly an hour and 6 minutes.
well, but I mean, it's an hour 6 and 30 seconds, and counting.
Cool.
Why would we do this? to
Stop.
ourselves?
End it.